Good day everybody, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be going over Hood. I am pretty sold on this champion. I was concerned for those that use Hood a lot, and as well the way that Fate Seal, buff suppression, and a lot of other elements as well to the champion changes would be feeling like a downside to this champion being added in. However though, I, as not a person that used to play Hood, is now a person that is like really thinking about this champion rotating around my roster, and especially from a point of damage output, which is just sublime, especially having an option that could be on par with the likes of Doctor Doom, Sorcerer Supreme, Black Widow, Clairvoyant. It wouldn't be a direct replacement, but what I'm saying is, again, goes back to what I was saying in the previous video about options, and having that option to go, okay, well, I'm gonna take on a monthly basis this champion through the Cavalier difficulty Mystic set, or if not with champion set form buffs. You're looking for a counter for certain champions that are coming in each and every month that might be cosmic or have a lot of buff creation. Hood could be that character for you, and we're going to play scenarios. So I'm going to play a scenario against Juggernaut, especially with hitting up from that Hex. Hex vulnerability with the volume of hexes on the champion, popping off a 253,000 damage. Now do bear in mind, this is non-suicides. I do try and make sure that I do non-suicides to get you an idea of, without that kind of bump up of special damage or damage in general, that you're going to see different numbers, but also get an idea. You get more top end damage numbers by switching to Suicide Masteries. The way that I was playing the champion, for anybody interested, was a case of SP2 and repeat. Hit, SP2, repeat, until I had at least 60 to 80 for high hit pool champions that I'm going off against, as opposed to path clearing, which I would recommend anything between 20 and 30 of those hexes, which again we'll be seeing in a moment. One thing that I really want to do is get a 200 signature version. So for what it says here is that there is a chance, there's only a slim chance of 36% for power stealing. But if you put in the top part of that, and that's what we'll do now, we'll just ramp up to 200 signature, because I want to see what it is up to. I guess the unfortunate side of things, it only scales up to 45% chance to do any power stealing, which does minimize the extent of what you can do. It's not like a big problem with the champion, but it's just that added element of power stealing, which is actually quite effective, especially by the means of being invisible, which would be really cool to have more of a 100% chance. So yeah. One of my biggest concerns was that the champion's stagger or buff suppression narrative, which was part of the old build and the new build, was a bit of a concern. Like, I didn't think the Fate Seal, with the loss of Fate Seal and as well the extent of lowering down the stagger, the extent of trying to like rebuild or keep constant the stagger debuff, didn't really feel like it was good enough. I like the fact that it is passive, that does help out towards a lot of interactions, but yeah, it seems to be fine. Like, I was really worried about that, but it seems to be fine. It just seems that one of this champion here is more of like a higher damage dealer than normal, and as well has this like really cool interaction with a lot of content. I actually really enjoy taking this champion into certain different paths in variant 6 and variant 5. Now if you go to variant 6, the champion actually has a lot of interaction that's kind of cool, especially going up against like Colossus, Venom, Medusa. The champions go on with what you can be interacted with, especially if they gain a buff. Then that's going to play into how this champion is going to be effective. But also with some of the nodes, you've got Overload. So on Overlord, if you nullify a buff, you get precision buff. Man, I was slapping some decent amount of damage. First of all, took against Colossus, then did Venom and Medusa, but like the whole fights play out just like an absolute cheese fest for when it comes to smashing this, and especially with like high hit pool. If you're looking for an option that not only just like smashes, but smashes hard against the like Realm of Legends stuff, as normally, you know, you can test off, that is definitely this it's pretty cool. But variant, a complete variant smasher in shape and form of Hood, or the Hood, you know, I wouldn't ever say that, but you know, it was a good champion before. It just means that now the damage output there is there, along with the utility for that particular interaction. So that's pretty good news with that. But also the same thing can be said of variant 5. In variant 5, there's a lot of different kinds of interaction, but more so for the global. On the global, you get Arcane Torrent, which is for each buff on the defender. Mystic attackers gain ability accuracy plus 25%, 10% for attack, 25% bleed debuff duration, 25% armor break debuff, and plus 10% power rate. All things that are incredibly helpful for Hood, especially being a Mystic based champion. And that can again like give you some really solid options to kind of have something that's not just the utility champion, but also something that's able to damage output a lot amount. And as well, it's like it's not a case of it's like energy damage as well, which is kind of nice. And I just thought that was another cool option to pair off against and go up against this content. Also, Hood seems to be a little bit more sustainable, especially from a point of like gaining back health. Like, look, you just, even though we're invisible at the moment, and every time, like once in a while, there we go, like 433 gain back. Like, even losing some health from being hit, you're able to gain back up nearly at like 100% health all of a sudden. So, yeah, that was, I mean, that's pretty cool. I don't know if that plays into something of the abilities. Now, I can't really pinpoint like why that was happening, whether or not it's something to do with invisibility. Maybe it's something with power still, get it confused with life still. I don't really 100% know that, especially from like reading up some of the abilities here. It's nothing's like staring out at me saying that invisibility has any kind of like regeneration elements to it. But maybe I've missed something, or maybe there's something that works with recovery, invisibility. But so far, I mean, that's pretty cool, and it's very sustainable for this champion. So yeah, like that. In any case, I will probably rank up Hood very, very soon and put him in rotation on my roster. I tried him out on my main account, not the CCP server, but I kind of did him on the main account, and also tried him out against the Cavalier difficulty. Seemed to work pretty well, and that was something I was worried about. So this is good news, and hopefully a lot of people are happy about that. And yeah, so my thoughts are great champion, well worth the rank up. However, though, more importantly, what are your thoughts on this champion? Put it in the comments section, and lots more buff-based videos to come today as I work through the backlog of work that I've got to get done.